Hurricane Ian making landfall in Lee County, Florida as a strong Category 4 right near Fort Myers. It's since been downgraded, though, to a tropical storm, as we've been reporting, right? So it did hit further south than expected. Originally, it was thought that Tampa might be ground zero.
Yeah, but the Tampa area did get hit. And joining us this morning to talk about it is Abigail Camacho. She lives in Lutz, which is just north of the city, and she's joining us by phone this morning. Good morning. How are you doing out there?
Good morning. Yeah, doing great. Thank you.
Oh, well, great. It's good to hear that you're great. I mean, are the conditions pretty bad still? Is there bad flooding? What's the situation right now where you are?
So in my area, there's no flooding. We do not have power, but that's okay. We got no power last night at around 5 p.m., so we've been out since then. But no flooding, really not a lot of rain, just very heavy winds, and still going on right now. So a lot of wind for the rest of the day, it looks like.
Okay, Abby, hi. And, you know, in Tampa, the storm actually forced water out of the bay. You know, you were sending me some of these pictures yesterday instead of pushing the surge. So you're saying flooding wasn't a big damage. Are you hearing anything about maybe later on with the high tide coming in, it could change?
I haven't heard of that yet, and I don't know the current status of the bay. I'm further enough inland where I don't have to necessarily worry, unlike those folks that are on the coast. So we're not seeing that, but I haven't heard of anything just yet about potential, floodings that's going to be coming because of that water that receded.
Yeah, well, Floridians, though, I mean, they are used to being potential targets for storms like this, right? So what did you do to actually prepare for this?
So, we braced for the worst and hope for the best. Yeah. So, we just had everything that we needed in the house. We, communicated with our phones using the walkie-talkie with my family. So just in case we weren't, the lines went down and we weren't able to connect with them. So we kind of just prepared in that sense with a bunch of food, ice, water, and, did all the right preparations to make sure that we were in a good spot just in case it got bad. And luckily we did because we have no power. So we're using our camping grill and, going old school with that stuff.
Yeah, and full disclosure, Abby and I go way back to college. I had no idea the walkie-talkie feature even existed on a phone until she was texting me last night saying, turn on your walkie-talkie on your iWatch, on your Apple Watch. But, your parents also live there, and you've lived there for about 12 years now, Abby. How are your parents doing, and how is it by where they are? Where exactly are they compared to you?
Well, they're about 20 minutes away from us, and they have power. So they're in a much different place than we are. So they're in a good spot. They're doing well. They had a great night. So just a lot of wind for them as well. They get a little bit more flooding than we do, but it's not as bad as they thought. So just a lot of wind. I can't emphasize how windy it is. So
they're considering this the worst storm ever to hit the coast. Yeah, but what will be the way that you saw it?
We got very lucky because it was supposed to hit Tampa. And as we've seen from the reports, it actually hit closer to Fort Myers and Sanibel. So my heart goes out to them because I've seen images. I have friends that live down there and are, worried about their just home being demolished because of the storm. So, we're lucky, but my heart goes out to those folks down south just because you never really know where it goes until maybe the last 12 hours. So it's, that's why you always have to prepare for the worst because it could change trajectory and you just have to be ready for it.
Have you talked to those friends in the Fort Myers area?
They did leave the area, so we'll find out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know you got to go. Go check on your parents. I know you're driving over there now. Be careful driving, all right? I need to worry about you. Thanks for joining us, Abby, all right?
Of course. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Be safe.
All right, there you go. That's one of the reports. We have another person coming up from Orlando where the storm is headed. That's coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. In the meantime, 7:20 right now. Let's keep exactly where we are with talking about Ian right now.
Yeah, reporter Ann Wyatt Little is joining us live from Fort Myers with the conditions there right now. And the sun is coming up, and we're getting a better look at what the damage is that was left behind. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. The damage is quite extensive. Just about 30 seconds ago. I just talked to the mayor who lives down here. He saw the damage and the storm surge roll in for himself. It takes his breath away. He's lived here 40 years and served as a police officer for 20 of those years. He says Floridians are resilient, but the damage is extensive. They hope to do an update sometime later this morning to get a better idea of exactly what the situation is before they put any facts out. They do have crews that are trying to reach people who are stuck inside their homes. Yesterday when the storm hit, they called for help, but nobody answered because it was too dangerous to send those first responders out. Power is a big problem down here. The majority of people are waking up in the dark this morning. More than 1 million people without electricity here in the state of Florida. The impacts of Ian will be felt in the coming days, weeks, months, if not years. This storm has done significant damage. We know Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel hit among the hardest. So we'll send it back to you.
And thank you so much. And, you know, we actually sent some of the people from our area, some of the crews down there, because of the power outage issues. Real quick before we let you go, do you have any idea how long people are going to be without power?
We have no estimate right now, and part of that is because the crews haven't been even able to get out and see the damage for themselves. I can tell you there are utility poles and lines down scattered throughout Fort Myers, of course, so we've only been able to drive a short stretch from our hotel to downtown. We haven't even gotten anywhere close to the beach because some of those roads are still closed down right now with water on them. We are waiting for the water to recede, but I know that that is a priority, but they are saying it could be quite some time before everyone gets power back on. But we certainly appreciate the crews that are coming from your state down here to help out. All of that help is needed.
Are any reports of injuries yet?
We did ask county officials about that last night. They say, given the intensity of the storm, it is likely there are fatalities, but they don't have any numbers yet. They don't know the extent of the damage, and they really don't want to put any numbers out until they can try to get an accurate count of the situation and really grasp the scope of what we're dealing with. Of course, we all hope that everybody has a story of survival with this storm, but it was very intense yesterday when it made landfall.
All right, Ann, thank you so much for your reporting, and stay safe on the ground there.